Hey everyone, ready for something kind of mind-bending?
Yeah, always up for that.
Well, today's deep dive, you know, is all about the Hungarian language.
Cool.
But we're not just going to be talking about, grammar rules and stuff like that.
Right.
We're going deeper, like way deeper.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
See, we came across this idea that Hungarian might actually mirror reality.
Mirror reality.
Yeah, through its sounds and its words.
Huh, wait.
Like it's somehow copying the energy of what it's describing.
That's a pretty wild idea.
It is, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've got some excerpts from this text that totally blew our minds.
Great.
Plus, we even, chatted with ChatGPT to kind of get its take on this whole energy vibration thing.
Oh, wow. So we're getting a multi-dimensional perspective on this.
Exactly. So just to give you a taste of what we're dealing with here.
Okay.
Did you know that the word for woman in Hungarian nő also means to grow?
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, that can't be just a coincidence,
Yeah.
right?
It does seem kind of too perfect to be random.
Right. It's woven into the fabric of the language itself.
Huh.
And then get this, the text we're looking at talks about how specific sounds and letters in Hungarian seem to match their meanings.
Okay.
So, for example, the is sound, it's supposed to evoke this feeling of thickness, like something permeating.
Permeating, interesting.
Then there's which feels more resonant and supportive.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
And conveys this deep power, while has this sharp, forward intensity.
So each sound has its own kind of personality almost.
It's really wild. It's almost like each sound has its own distinct personality and energy.
It's interesting you say that because what we're touching on here is this concept of sound symbolism.
Sound symbolism.
Yeah, and you actually find it across a lot of languages, but Hungarian seems to take it to a whole other level.
It's not just, random sounds assigned to meanings. It's the sounds themselves intrinsically fit the concepts they represent.
That's what's so cool about it, and the examples are just mind-boggling.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, we were just talking about nun meaning both woman and to grow.
Yeah.
It just so beautifully captures that connection between femininity and the act of creation, don't you think?
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, right? Is it purely coincidental, or is there something deeper at play here?
Right. Is it possible that the sounds themselves actually carry inherent meanings that we just unconsciously pick up on?
I'm starting to think there might be something to that. And then you have examples like "ur" for space, that "you" sound, it just instantly evokes this sense of vast emptiness.
It's like the word itself is a mini black hole.
Totally. But it goes beyond just individual sounds. Hungarian builds words by layering ideas. It's called agglutination.
Agglutination.
Yeah, and this creates a kind of fractal structure where simple concepts can be expanded into incredibly complex ones.
Okay, I'm going to need an example because that sounds pretty wild.
Okay, so think about the word kör, which means circle.
Okay, circle.
You can add to that and create körül, which means around.
Around.
And then, get this, you can add even more to form környezet, meaning environment.
Whoa, it's each word contains the building blocks for even bigger ideas.
It's like linguistic Legos.
You're telling me you can build entire conceptual universes just by adding onto these core words?
Exactly. And that's just scratching the surface.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. There's this whole other layer of complexity with Old Hungarian runes.
Runes.
Yeah, some believe that these symbols were designed to visually represent the sound vibrations of the language.
Oh, wow. So it's taking those Lego blocks we talked about and giving them a visual form.
Exactly.
That's incredible. So it's not just about the sounds, but also about how those sounds might have been visually represented. That's a whole other dimension.
Right. And it even brings up the question of synesthesia.
Synesthesia.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon where stimulating one sense triggers experiences in another.
Okay.
So could it be that the structure of Hungarian taps into this in some way, so that sounds evoke not just meanings but also feelings or even physical sensations?
Okay, hold on. Things are getting really trippy now. Synesthesia sounds triggering feelings.
Think about it. If the sounds themselves are intrinsically linked to their meanings, wouldn't it make sense that those sounds might also trigger a corresponding feeling or sensation?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, I need a minute to process all of this.
Take your time.
But before my brain totally melts, can we get back to what ChatGPT had to say about all this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Do you remember what it said about the sound L?
Yeah, it said it's considered grounding right, the word lab, which means foot.
Foot right makes sense. Feet are all about being grounded.
Exactly. And then there's the sound E, which seems to have an elevating quality like in the word ear for to write.
And the act of writing is often seen as a way to elevate thought, wouldn't you say?
Totally. So we've got grounding sounds, we've got elevating sounds. I'm starting to wonder if there's like an entire emotional spectrum mapped onto these Hungarian sounds.
Now you're thinking like a linguist. And the more we delve into this, the more we have to consider the implications of a language that might actually wire the brain differently because of its structure.
Okay, now that's a thought.
Some researchers even suggest that Hungarian structure could enhance cognitive functions, like pattern recognition and mental flexibility.
So you're telling me learning Hungarian could be like a brain workout? Sign me up. But seriously, all this talk about sounds and runes and synesthesia, it's like we're just scratching the surface of some incredibly deep mystery.
We are just getting started. There are even deeper levels to explore, especially when it comes to the consonant combinations in Old Hungarians and the energetic meanings they might hold. Buckle up, this deep dive is about to get even more fascinating.
Yeah, it really does make you think, like, could learning a new language actually, like, reshape how we think?
Right.
And maybe even, like, how we experience the world around us.
It's like we've stumbled onto this, like, secret code,
Embedded within language itself. And speaking of codes, we were talking about how certain consonant combinations might have even deeper, more energetic meanings.
Right.
Especially in Old Hungarian. What's the deal with that?
Remember how we were talking about the building blocks of meaning in Hungarian?
Uh-huh.
It's not just about individual sounds or even words, but how those elements combine
Oh, okay.
to create a richer, more nuanced, like, tapestry of meaning.
Right, like how cur becomes cruel, and then kerneza, it's all connected. But how do consonant combinations play into this?
Well, think of it this way. If individual sounds can carry inherent meanings,
Okay.
then combining those sounds could amplify or modify those meanings.
Okay, got
And
it.
in pretty fascinating ways.
Okay, so what are some of these like powerful consonant combos, and what kind of energies do they represent?
Well, the text mentions the combination of T and B representing grounding and containment.
T and B. Okay.
It's almost like the T provides structure and stability, while the B acts as like a vessel or container.
Does that make sense? Yeah, it's like the T is the framework, and the B is like the bowl holding everything together.
Yeah.
I can see how that would, convey a sense of grounding and stability.
Right.
But what kind of words use this combination?
A great example is the word bograx, which is a type of cauldron.
A cauldron.
Yeah, used for cooking.
Okay.
The B at the beginning symbolizes that vessel or container,
Okay.
while the T kind of helps form the structure.
So together they evoke this image of like a sturdy, grounded cauldron.
Exactly.
Perfectly designed to like contain and transform ingredients.
It's really incredible, isn't it?
It is. It's like the word itself is like a blueprint for the cauldron encoded with its function and purpose.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to see how this all ties together. It's not just about random sounds, but about like a deliberate weaving together of sounds and meanings
Right.
to create a language that reflects like the very essence of reality.
Exactly. And that kind of brings us to a broader takeaway.
Okay, what's that?
Language isn't just a tool for communication.
Right.
It's a powerful force that shapes our understanding of the world.
Okay.
So if Hungarian is structured in a way that like mirrors the energy or vibrations of reality, how might that impact the way its speakers perceive and interact with their surroundings?
That's a huge question.
It is.
It makes me wonder if Hungarian speakers have like a different way of experiencing reality.
Like maybe a more intuitive or connected understanding of things.
Like they're tapping into something deeper that the rest of us are missing.
It's a fascinating possibility, isn't it?
It really is.
And it really challenges our assumptions about what language is and how it influences, our thoughts, our feelings, even our perceptions of the world.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. But I have to ask, how does this like energy copying actually work? Does Hungarian have like some secret code that unlocks the true nature of reality?
I wouldn't say it's like a secret code.
Yeah.
It's more like a reflection of a deep connection between sound meaning and the physical world. Remember, Hungarian is a language rooted in nature and human experience. It's possible that over time, the sounds of words evolved to mimic the vibrations or energies of what they were describing.
So it's not like the Hungarians sat down and like intentionally designed their language this way.
Right. It's more likely an organic process,
Okay.
where the sounds that felt most right or evocative for a particular concept gradually became embedded in the language Think of it as like a kind of linguistic natural selection.
Okay.
The sounds that resonated most deeply with human experience were the ones that survived and thrived.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like a natural evolution of language shaped by the way humans perceive and experience the world. But if this is true for Hungarian, could it be true for other languages as well?
That's a great question. And it's one that linguists are still exploring. There's this growing field of research called phonosemantics.
Phonosemantics, that sounds right up our alley.
It is, and some researchers in this field believe that certain sounds might carry universal meanings or associations regardless of the language.
So it's not just Hungarian that's playing with this sound meaning connection.
Exactly. There might be like underlying principles at work
Okay.
that govern how sounds evoke meaning in the human brain.
That is so cool. So even though I don't speak Hungarian, I might still be subconsciously picking up on these sound meaning connections.
It's entirely possible, and that's what makes this whole exploration so exciting. We're just beginning to understand the hidden depth of language and how it shapes our reality.
Okay, I need more examples. What are some other words in Hungarian that demonstrate this connection between sound and meaning?
Well, think about words that describe natural phenomena. For example, the word zug means to buzz or to hum.
Okay.
The sound of the word itself actually mimics that low, continuous sound
Oh, wow.
of things like wind or water.
Whoa, that's amazing. The word itself is like an auditory representation of the concept it's describing.
And it's not just with sounds. Think about motion and force. The word ksusik means to slide.
To slide?
The C sound at the beginning
Uh-huh.
mimics that smooth start of a sliding motion,
Okay.
while the U sound kind of extends the concept of sliding.
So it's like the word itself is embodying the action it's describing. This is incredible.
And it even extends to emotional resonance. Take the word eres, which means to feel.
To feel okay.
The sharp A sound projects outward, reflecting the immediacy and intensity of feeling,
Okay.
while the softer Z at the end suggests a more internal or reflective process.
So the word not only describes the concept of feeling, but also reflects the different aspects of the feeling itself.
Right.
My mind is officially blown.
It really is. And this connection between sound and meaning goes even deeper in Old Hungarian. Remember the T and B combo we talked about?
Yeah, for grounding and containment. What other examples are there?
Well, think about the word test, which means body. The T provides structure, while the B represents a vessel or container. Together, they perfectly capture the essence of the human body as a structured vessel that contains our life force.
Wow, that's deep. So even our very concept of the body is encoded in the language itself.
It seems that way. And remember that VI combo we mentioned earlier?
The super powerful one, I'm all ears.
Well, the V sound is often associated with amplification or intensification. It's like a booster for the meaning of the word.
Okay.
And when it's combined with the I,
Okay.
which can represent movement or intention,
Hmm.
you get this powerful energetic combination.
Okay, I'm ready for an example. Hit me with it.
Think about the word vihar, which means storm.
It's storm. Okay.
The V sound amplifies the natural intensity of a storm,
Okay.
while the I suggests the movement and force of the wind and rain. Together, they create this vivid auditory image of a powerful, unstoppable force of nature.
That's a perfect example. It's like the word itself is a mini storm brewing in your mouth.
And there are countless other examples throughout the language. The word veji, for desire, uses the V to amplify that feeling of yearning. And visa, for back or return, uses the V to emphasize the force or energy required to reverse direction.
So it's not just about individual sounds.
Sorry.
It's about how those sounds work together to create even deeper layers of meaning and energy.
Yeah,
I'm starting to think Hungarian is less of a language and more of a symphony.
that's a beautiful way to put it. And it's what makes Hungarian so unique. It's a language that's constantly playing with sound and meaning, creating a rich tapestry of vibrations and energy that reflects the world around us.
Okay, I'm officially obsessed with this whole concept. It makes me want to learn Hungarian just to experience this deeper connection to language and reality.
I completely understand. It's a fascinating journey to explore the hidden depths of language and how it shapes our perception of the world. And who knows, maybe all languages have this hidden depth,
Yeah.
this potential to connect us to reality
Right.
in ways we're only just beginning to understand.
Yeah, it's like we've been looking at language all wrong, you know?
Uh-huh.
What if it's not just about conveying information,
Right.
but about tuning into the very essence of things?
Yeah.
The vibrations that make up reality.
It is a pretty mind-blowing concept.
It is.
And it really makes you wonder, you know, how much deeper our understanding of the world could be
Right.
if we paid more attention to these kind of subtle connections
Right.
between sound meaning and the physical world.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from individual sounds to consonant combinations, runes, synesthesia, even phonosemantics.
Yeah, we have.
It's like we've peeled back layer after layer of the Hungarian language
Uh-huh.
to reveal this incredible connection to the energy of reality.
We've definitely explored some fascinating ideas.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that Hungarian isn't just a way to communicate.
Right.
It's a reflection of a worldview where sound, meaning, and the physical world are all deeply intertwined.
But let's bring it back to the core question here.
Okay?
Of this deep dive, does Hungarian truly copy the energy vibration of what it's describing? Is this really a thing, or are we just kind of getting carried away with all these cool examples?
Well, we can't definitively say that, Hungarian has cracked the code of the universe.
Yeah.
I think what we've uncovered suggests a level of connection between sound, meaning, and the physical world that's undeniable fascinating.
So it's not about magic.
Right.
It's about a deep understanding of how language can reflect the essence of reality.
Exactly. And that awareness, that attentiveness to the nuances of language can open up a whole new dimension of understanding and appreciation, not just for Hungarian, but for any language.
I love that. It's like we've been given a new set of ears, a new way to listen to the world and decode its secrets.
Exactly.
Well, after this deep dive, I'm definitely going to be listening to language in a whole new way. I'm going to be tuning into those subtle vibrations and seeing what secrets they reveal. Who knows? Maybe I'll even start to feel the energy of the words I speak and hear.
That's the spirit. Remember, the world is full of wonder.
It is.
Sometimes all we need is a new language to help us see it.
Well, thanks for guiding us through this incredible journey.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine.
This has been one of the most mind-bending deep dives yet.
And for all of you listening out there, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep listening to the whispers of language you never know what you might discover.